What is CVS? CVS is basically known as cyclic vomiting syndrome for short. Um, it's a rare disorder that basically if you start to puke, you can't stop. Sometimes this gets to the point where you start puking up blood, which is very dangerous because you can become very weak and you can't move, you can't talk, you can't do anything really. So it's always best to have someone there when you're having this episode. But when you do start puking up blood, or even before you start puking up blood, the best thing to do is not wait out but go to the ER. Because if you go to the ER, they'll give you IVs in your veins so you can get dehydrated yourself and you can become better in the hospital. I really haven't had an experience where I've waited it out and had it cured at home. All of my attacks have basically been cured by going to the ER. So that's what CVS is in a nutshell. So what are some causes of CVS? Well, there's a lot of them actually. I'm just going to name a few. A few of them are stress, or like dramatic stress that happens to you, like if someone dies or if someone gets in a huge fight and you're really stressed out, that can cause CVS. Dramatic weather change can cause it because if it's really cold or really hot, you can feel like you want to vomit, unfortunately. Dehydration can cause it, obviously, because if you don't drink enough, you're going to lose a lot. You don't get enough water and stuff. Lack of eating can cause it, because if you stop eating, you're going to puke, basically. And sometimes overeating can cause it, too. Certain foods that you eat can cause CVS. Like I found out, if you eat junk food, that can really cause it bad. And then some other colds and illnesses, like if you get sick or something, can cause CVS. Treatments. Some of the treatments for CVS are amitriptyline and Zofran. Both of them are prescriptional medicines you can get at a pharmacy, but you have to ask a doctor for it to get prescription with. Both of those have helped me tremendously. Amitriptyline is one you take like every day, like once a day though. And Zofran is one that you take before you start feeling that you're gonna have an attack of vomiting or something like that. And another cure I found out through my experiences, once I started working out on a daily basis and I started eating the right foods, I noticed that my CVS attacks have stopped. Basically, the past 2 years now, I haven't vomited at all. And if I have, it's been like regular pukes, basically, where it's only lasted 5 minutes and it's not puking up blood, it's puking up food and stuff. But those are some of the treatments you can get for CVS. So now that you know a little bit about CVS, I can tell you a little bit about my story with the experience. Basically, I've had it since the 3rd grade. I remember it really clear, almost, basically. That I went to the hospital with a really bad vomiting problem, and then they had to do all these tests, and I spent the night, and it was not pretty at all, because I couldn't stop vomiting, and the only way to do it was putting IVs in my veins. And basically, when I took shots, which I really hate now, but when I had to take the shot, it really hurts compared to regular shots, IV shots. I don't know why, but they just really hurt. So I've had it since the 3rd grade. There's been several accounts where I've had it. Sometimes I've skipped a whole bunch of school days in high school because of this, in elementary school, because I felt so nervous to the point I almost felt like I was going to puke, and then it's like a whole bunch of my days have been skipped. But since I went to college, it stopped until one December day in 2010. Not 2010, sorry, 2009. I think it's either 2009 or 2010. I forget exactly when, but I was at my grandma's house and I was feeling really fine. Nothing was going on. I was playing one of my Game Boy stuff. And then I went to bed. Before I went to bed, I had a glass of oranges. Went back up the stairs to my room, and apparently I started puking. And this was at my grandma's house, which is in Connecticut, and I live in Vermont, so it's really hard for me to, it was really hard for my parents to decide what to do. So they just called the ambulance, or they took me to the pediatric center, not pediatric center, the wellness center in over there, and they treated me there for a few times, but then they couldn't help me enough, so they had to take me into an ambulance to the ER, the big ER stuff, and I had to spend the night there. But basically that ruined my vacation, and then we went home, and I was really sick, and I didn't feel well, but then I got better. But then that's when I decided to start working out and started eating right when I got back to college. So I used the gym in college, and I started eating the right foods, and I really noticed I started getting better. So if you do have this and you're listening, basically if you eat right and work out and keep track of your health, you really can get over the CVS. Because basically since then, as I said before, I haven't vomited. So that's the whole introduction video to CVS. Hope you enjoy. Peace.